first period. I don't really remember when I got my first period, but I remember like the aftermath, if that makes sense. So I remember I was really young. I was in fourth grade, so I was really, really young. And I remember feeling embarrassed that I got my period and I was young. I was like, why am I developing faster than my friends? And my mom had to come in to talk to my teacher about it. And like, I remember her name, Mrs. Newman. And she like went up to her and my mom was like, I just wanted to let you know that my daughter got her period. And so like she may have to like leave and go to the bathroom. And I was so embarrassed and like mortified. I was just like, oh my god, this is like the worst day of my life. And I didn't understand what was happening and I didn't get it because it was way before sex ed. Because I got it 2 years before sex ed. And I was the first girl to get it in my class. And it was just like really embarrassing for me at the time. And I think I also, it was just like a weird time. It was just really weird. But I think the one good thing about it was that it brought my mom and I closer. My mom always worked like 2-3 jobs at a time, and so I never really saw her. And I remember when I got my period, it was like, I don't remember specifically like when it happened, but I remember when, like, several months after, when I would get my period every month, I would be like really overwhelmed with like the idea of having to like use pads and like having to change them and stuff. And my mom like sat me down and she's like, okay, this is what you do. Like, you do this and like you take the pad and like then you like roll it up this way. And it's just like really weird conversation between a mother and a daughter. But I still remember it, and I still like, it felt like a bonding moment for my mother and I, a moment that it was just the two of us, and that never happened because she was always working and I never saw her. And I think that it just happened to be that my period brought us together. So it was just weird. So yeah, so that's my first period. Embarrassing, but beautiful.
Let's see, my first period was, I think it was 7th grade, and I was just like at night, so I wasn't going anywhere, so there was nothing like traumatic about like having it in public, but I just remember being so scared. I had been told what a period was, forever. I knew what it was. I knew it was coming eventually, but I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, there's blood down there, and I was like, Mom, what's wrong with me? So she had to calm me down, but yeah, I thought that this really sucks. I had to get used to it.
My first period, I was in 4th grade. I don't, okay. My first period happened, it was a summer, and I was over at my friend Anna's house, and she invited me to come over to swim, and like I'd always like, yeah, awesome, great. So I like put on my swimsuit, was going, and I sort of went over there, kind of like felt like I had to use the restroom, and then I go to the restroom and I see that there's some sort of substance, like, I don't want to get technical, but it's like not the real stuff yet, but it's like the stuff that's before the real stuff. And I was like, oh, like, I just assumed it was another substance that comes from below, so I was like, oh, okay, like, that's fine, like, no big deal. Like, I just want to tell anyone about this. So I was like, all right, swim time. And then, like, I sort of get this weird, like, feeling in my stomach, and I was like, I'm just gonna go check again. And then it's like my bona fide period, and like I didn't know, like my friend Anna had never really talked about like what periods are. Her brother Carlos was there, like just like it would not seem like suitable to like talk about something like that. So I just sort of like, what did I do? I just ran to the bathroom and like got lots of toilet paper. I was like, I don't know what this is. Like I was like, wrap it up. And then I like stuck it in there, and I'd be like laying outside, she'd be swimming, and like I was like so game for swimming. I was like, oh yeah, like swimming, I'll go, like, it'll be awesome. And then like if I'm suddenly like just like lying on the cement, like no, like I don't feel like it. It's just sort of really annoying. So essentially, like I was up and down for 15 minutes, like going, getting toilet paper, like restocking. I kept saying like, oh man, like I just really have to pee, like I gotta pee so bad, like every 2 minutes, like I probably like I have no idea. So I had my first period then, And then I didn't tell anyone. I didn't ask her mom or anything. I just like waited, kept like restuffing toilet paper until I got home and was like, so what's going on? Like, what do I do? What do I use? I'm just sort of like bleeding. And then I was in 4th grade, so I was like probably one of the first girls in my class to get it. But then after that, for like a year, I didn't have my period at all. And then it sort of came back a year later. But then I was sort of like, I was one that was sort of like developing early, and I was kind of breaking out. But then a year later, I had like a set of seizures, and then it came back. So it was sort of like weird. It was like on a bus in Mexico, kind of sketchy. But then it came back after that. So.
Okay, so I got my period when I was 13 years old. I was in 8th grade. And I remember I was one of the last people to get my period in my class, because it was 8th grade. Most people got it like 6th grade, I think I remember. And so I like really, really wanted my period because I felt like, I don't know, I was like missing out on something, or I just really wanted it. There was something exciting about it to me. So it was like, I was 13, it was like the middle of the day, my parents weren't home, and I remember going to the bathroom and there was like little like brownish stuff in my underwear, and it kind of looked like, almost like poop, but like, I know it wasn't. But I was like, this is weird, what is this? So I like called my best friend and she was like, yeah, like you got your period. And I was like super excited. I think just because, yeah, it was just like an exciting feeling of feeling like a grown-up. And it was really light, so the first time was like, hey, this is just nice, and I'm like all grown up, just like my friends. Yeah, that's pretty much that story.
So my first period, I do remember that I was 13 years old, but beyond that, I really don't remember it. It's weird because it's a significant event, I think, and it is kind of like shocking, and your body's doing these new things, but for whatever reason, like, it is pretty blocked from my memory. But I remember that I was 13, and I think I remember that age because I was like, oh, I'm officially a teenager, like, my body is officially changing, and this is an important day. That's what I remember.
My first period was really bad. I had been at work with my mom before swim practice, and I started bleeding and didn't know what was happening, and it was really bad, and all my mom had at work or in her car was like a super extra strength tampon. And so me at 12 years old had to figure out how to use an extra, like a super tampon cardboard applicator before my like swim practice in 15 minutes. And I finally got it in, and I went to swim practice, and practice was canceled that day. It was bad. Oh, real bad day.
I was 11. I was at a golf tournament in San Diego and played well the first day. I was excited. Go out to dinner with my mom, come back, had some cramps, went to the bathroom, thought I crapped my pants. My mom said, no, you started your period. So I cried a little bit, but then I was like, I'm a woman. And it's all been downhill from there.